And so I'm getting around to messing with this old John Deere push mower. I've already got the carburetor off. I'm actually in the process of cleaning it right now in my ultrasonic cleaner. But for the most part, other than the fact that it's missing a recoil, which I've got a piece of rope tied to there, it looks like the tank is actually in pretty decent condition. There's no sort of old gas in there that I can see. A little bit of debris, but nothing I'm terribly worried about. It's got oil in it, and it seems to be at the right level. So this thing might just need a good carb cleaning and throw some fresh gas in her and see what happens. That might be all it needs. Alright, so the carburetor's been freshly cleaned. And we just have to throw it back on. This thing's going to get a good wash too when I'm done with it, but for right now I'm not really worried about that. So we'll go ahead and slap the carburetor back on. And we'll have to square our linkages away. So I might as well do that before I reinstall this. Alright. Make sure our linkages are good. Might be good to throw some gas in this thing and see what happens. I'm feeling kind of lucky. I also sized up some new fuel line so I can get that routed. I'm not going to run a fuel filter on this thing just yet, but all I have to do is just cut it out. And that's probably enough. Alright, so here's the first start attempt. Haven't tried yet. All I did was snip off the end of that rope. So we're going to go full choke. Nothing yet. So I can get a little bit better of a grip on it. Yet. Good pull, but still no dice. Well, so I pulled off the carburetor again and tried messing with it a little bit more. Let's see if that changed anything. So I could figure out if this thing will start or not and get a new recoil. So I've got it at half throttle. Haven't really done anything to it except pull the carb off and have a look at everything again. So let's see what happens. Oh wow! That works. I think the carb needs a rebuild. guys can see everything I'm doing. So the carb more than likely needs to be rebuilt. That doesn't surprise me. Now you guys saw me messing with this handle a little bit. The problem here is the cable. So the self-propelled works, and I was able to pull on it just by itself without using the handle and getting it to run just fine. Now the other thing that's interesting is when I first started messing with this thing, the blade control wasn't staying locked at first. Now it seems to be, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but I think all in all this thing is gonna shape up to be a nice little mower. I'm not really too sure that I'm gonna sell this thing or get rid of it. I know I say that a lot, you know, then I always find something better. But this thing is it's going to need a lot of work, and it's going to be another one of those mowers that I'm going to end up having to, hopefully not, but it's probably going to be the case, is put a good amount of money into it. It's going to need a new starter recoil, which I might be able to source one of those used locally from one of the mower shops that I go to. I'm not really holding out for that, but if anything, I believe those go for about 40 to 50 bucks on eBay, so there's that. This belt is going to need to be replaced. I don't think there's supposed to be that much slack in it, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Obviously, I'm going to have to replace that cable. What's even more interesting about this is what, a 14 ST or some sort of model like that, but the model that's on it is a JD81Z, it looks like, which I put that into Google and it didn't really come up with anything. I don't know if I was just, you know, looking in the wrong place or something, but it didn't really come up with much. So this, as far as the rest of it goes, it's going to need, you know, some beautification done to it. Obviously, this isn't too hard to get rid of and polish up. I can just pull the handle off the mower and take it to my my polisher and polish that up, no problem. It's just going to take a little bit to do it, but surprisingly that self-propelled works. The blade clutch works and engages just fine. It needs some work, but hopefully I can give it a little TLC and get her working again, 100% anyways. Now, one of the other issues that I ran into was the bag situation. Because I don't have an exact part number for this thing, I can't really find a new outer bag for it. The frame is fine, and worst case scenario, I could always just, you know, buy the material and make up, you know, my own, but I'd rather buy one if I could get one. So any of you guys who are more intrepid at finding this type of stuff than me, you're more than welcome to locate me a few part numbers for that stuff. But this bag is definitely ripped up. It's not salvageable. Some of them you can patch the holes and get away with it for a little while, but that one's just too far gone. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm glad I finally got around to screwing with this thing and seeing what's up with it, but you guys all stay classy. Stay tuned for more.